but as of late, it's not quite so sure about that. It's questioning what exactly it means to be a soldier.
For Trymere, I believe at first he thought he would be somewhat of a historian along with his sister, but realized nah, uh, the knowledgeable nerdy type is more his sister's thing than he is.
Gorm was probably fairly similar to now. Build the ship, build ships, and maybe sail them.
And Kamala?
That's a very good question. I think she would think herself a great warrior. At least that's what she aspires to be.
Well, before we get into the recaps and things, just a quick point of order. The update to the server kind of broke things a lot, and the old domain sheets aren't going to work anymore. So glad I made so many of them, but I have recreated the ones that we'll need, and you should still be able to see Braudevik. I think if you click on the statue in the middle of town, there should be a token there. Can you guys see that?
No, I can see the statue, but there's no token. Maybe it's another layer.
No, I shouldn't be. Oh, you just can't see the invisible thing. That's weird. Okay, but I'll reveal it in a second. But still, I've reworked some of the things, so you may have some different abilities and like powers and things because I couldn't access the stuff we had last time. But I think it makes sense. After the battle that we've just had, you've just secured a port and whatnot. So there have been a few little changes. And then for Carmilla specifically, you'll notice a new feature, or it's a blessing. You can read through that because that is the consequence of your coming back.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, ooh, cool.
I haven't made it work automatically yet. I just ran out of time, but I will try to do that. But for now, there'll be two different conditions that you could toggle on and off. You should see them in the effects.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Trymere have sent you some information just on where you guys came from, just so you've got some context.
Oh yeah, I somewhat skimmed through it, but yeah, I saw.
But yeah, if you want to make any, like, if anyone asks you questions about your hometown, like, there's some information for you to pull from. But we'll get into it as we go along, to get deeper into it.
Yep.
But yeah, welcome.
Oh yeah, and I must say I'm new to playing this type of this character's personality, so I may not be able to convey the roleplay well enough, but I hope I do well.
That's all right. We're all in the same boat. So we've got a recap, as last time was quite. Yeah, I know it's been a bit chaotic, but Also, just remember, Yormund hasn't been here. I will say, Yormund, for you, the last thing you remember seeing is your mother in the battle, shield bashing you in the face. And that was the other point of order that we'll get to. You are currently concussed and have been recovering, but you still have another 5 days to go. So I'm just saying that now before I forget, but we'll
Gotcha.
get into that in the session.
Oh yeah. Okay, so should I recap the last two sessions for Jörgman?
Yeah, yes, please. We can. Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
don't have to get into too much detail, but yeah,
Yep.
go for it.
So last two sessions, Onyx and Carmilla died. So that's what happened. Jorman,
Oh.
that's what. Yes, that's why I'm now playing a new character. Yep. And but in the midst of that, while Onyx and Carmilla were in Valhalla, apparently Carmilla's father came in and said to his daughter Carmilla, don't listen to Odin's like I don't know what, but basically what he says, something about that, and then and her father was on on like some kind of infernal motorcycle, so that was quite epic. That she hopped on and then fucking booked it, and then while booking it, Onyx kind of had a reunion with his daughter, who was now a Valkyrie, and yeah, so basically Onyx and his daughter were chasing Carmilla and her father, and what happened next is that apparently Zeus was there helping Carmilla's father. Don't know why, but apparently a foreign god is there helping out, and they were able to escape, and and then back to the present. The party was successful in uh, taking the fort and all that, and then uh, what happened next? While on the way back, Mikhail and Gorm found some really really good finds while on the way back. On the way back, they found some ice steel ore, a pretty durable material to use, and not only that, but found also found gravitite, apparently some kind of a
Oh.
ore that has an effect on gravity in some way when you forge it. So that's that's a big find, and they had the idea to, hey, let's use the ice steel ore to create pickaxes to mine this very valuable gravitite ore, which will be very which the DM confirmed will be very good to like mine it very quickly.
Oh.
Yeah, you found a whole deposit at the chasm. There's like globules of lava turning into rocks that can be harvested, which Mikhail later has sent the dwarves to go set up a mining operation there.
And we rolled, and Mikhail rolled lucky, where the DM asked to roll 1d8 to see how much ice steel ore you get, and Mikhail rolled an 8, so we got a lot of it.
Nice.
Yep. So
We leveled up. We leveled
and
7.
then
I did poke
yeah,
you. If you saw it.
Yep.
yeah, and the ice giant Hyorin recommended that if you can go to the forge, you might be able to make some good stuff if you can go to whatever the giant forge is. And yep, and on the way back, they did take the legendary axe that was on this Goliath trader back at the fort. So Mikhail and Gorm went to the currently a Goliath chieftain who was apparently sick and dying, and while returning the axe, apparently this Goliath chieftain gave them some sort of vision of Jotunheim, I believe. Am I correct? They gave them some kind of vision of Jotunheim.
Seemed like it, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they showed them a vision of sitting on a throne in Jotunheim. like sitting on
Yeah.
the throne of the giant.
Yep. And then afterwards, the chieftain said something about it is now yours to bear, or something like that. And essentially, when after that, the chieftain died, and after Gorm and Mikkel mentioned what they saw, the other Goliaths mentioned like that is a requirement to be the next, basically the next chieftain for their Goliath tribe to have that vision apparently. And the Goliath, one of the Goliath, I don't know, I don't know what rank to call them, but basically
War
one of them
chief.
war chief, yes, who was basically in line to be a next candidate to be chieftain, was like pretty mad, but at the same time, both Gorm and Mikkel were kind of hesitant to be a chieftain for the Goliath tribe.
Yeah.
And that's where wait, and then while giving the funerals, apparently Carmilla's mother had a method to revive Carmilla, and that worked basically in the process of Carmilla's father saving Carmilla in Valhalla, and that worked. Carmilla's back alive, and what else? Oh yeah, after the funeral stuff for Onyx and the other soldiers that have fallen in battle, that is when like a tree lit up, and that's when Trymir and his other elven companions appeared, and that's kind of where we ended the session, where the where both the elves uh, and the people of Roderick kind of like introduced themselves, and after since uh oh yeah so, a part of the elven group was Onyx's wife, so that basically sensed Onyx's passing, and that is why she was there.
Yeah, so just yeah, they sort of arrived just as the funeral pyres are still burning, and they were there to, some of them witnessed this blood ritual that Camilla's mother was doing to bring her back. But we will get to what is happening with them in a minute, as more of these elves are streaming out of the great sky tree. And we're going to go over to Yormund, who Yormund, in the battle, you were getting you were getting pretty fucked up, let's be honest. But after when you weren't here, you had seen, I think you were conscious to see one of the creatures, or one of the people, turn into this elf that attacked Onyx and was pretty much the reason that he was killed. But moments after that, one of the soldiers seemed to disappear, and you saw your mother running at you. She shield bashed you in the face, and that was the last thing you remember seeing, is your own mother just knocking you out cold. You have since had a very severe concussion, and Yormund has been basically in a coma for the last 5 days. But we return now to you as you sort of come to consciousness when you hear a door closing, and you find yourself lying in your bed at home, and you can hear your mother has just walked into the house. But this is the first time, this is the first thing you remember since being knocked out.
Norman just kind of reaches out to things by his bed, the bed itself, just making sure it's all real.
Oh,
Looks
my son,
around.
you're awake.
Yeah. He just kind of like rubs his jaw. Yeah, that really did me in. Was that actually you?
Was what me? I'm not sure what you remember, but we managed to get you home safely, and the fort was taken. We were successful. Ingrid says you have got a severe concussion. She says that it should take about 10 days of rest, but you have been out for half a week, or half a 10 day at least.
Oh, shit. Right.
What is the last thing you remember? I mean, are you okay?
I remember you hitting me in the face with a fucking shield. But I suppose that wasn't you.
We heard that Goliath was using some trickery. May have been that, may have been a dream, but Jormund, I hate to do this so soon, but two of your friends were lost in the battle. Well, I say friends, I'm not sure how you and Carmilla ever really got along, but that young, the tiefling medic one, he was killed, and Carmilla as well. We lost a few, and they are currently on the funeral pyre. I know Ingrid said that you must rest, but perhaps you would like to come and send them off. I'm sure the others would be happy to see you up and about.
Yorman just nods, just eyebrows like furrowed, thinking about things, and just goes, "Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I'll come out. Just where's Shepard?"
Oh, he's not left the door in the whole time that you've been lying here. But I couldn't let him lie in the house. He started pissing on things. Hold on, I'm sure he'd like to see you. And she goes up to the door as you give that whistle, and Shepard just comes barreling in through the door, just with this happy growl, if you've heard one, as he just tackles you onto the bed.
Oh, you've gone bigger, haven't you?
It doesn't look like he's gotten that much bigger, to be fair, but when he hits you, it does feel like his strength has increased. But not just, you're not sure if it's Shepard or it's just that you're feeling much weaker. And I will say that you currently have a lingering injury, which, when I find it,
Yeah, meantime, Yorman is just scratching Shepard behind the ear, under the chin, just all the way he likes it. Just looks around again. Ah,
but yes, so basically that you are under that effect, but you've already spent 5 days doing nothing but resting. So according to your mom by Ingrid, or according to Ingrid by your mom, you've got 5 days that you'll need to spend resting before you are in fighting form again.
okay. Carmilla and Onyx are dead.
She just nods. She says, yes, they died in battle. I'm sure they've found their way to Valhalla already.
What are the other realms people go to when they die? Helheim.
Helheim, Folkvanger, there are many realms. It depends how you die, I suppose. But I saw where they died, how the battle played out, I believe. If anyone has earned a place in Valhalla, it is those two.
Yorman just mutters. I don't know if Ursula died. I should probably get dressed.
Take your time. I think if they have left the pyre already, they've probably made their way to the tavern. But I will wait outside. We'll go together.
Yorman just nods and starts getting ready to go out. I'm gonna be right back.
Or as we go over to the others, where, yeah, you guys have just seen this sort of strange light and magic coming from where Carmilla has just come back to life. And yeah, Carmilla, you can also see from where you are on the other side of the river, all of these elves looking at you, where this is probably more elves in one place than you've ever actually seen. But yeah, you guys are all in this, bit of a large space, but you guys have all just seen these elves walking through, and everyone's sort of frozen in this, like, what the fuck was that? And I think where we had left it, Eldarin had just slapped Trymere on the back and had said that she was going to go looking for a drink. As, yeah, Gorm, you would see this large, like she's probably about 7 foot tall, just rippling muscles. This, you've seen elves, but most of them are quite like, slender and elvish. But this woman is built, and she just walks up and sort of she grabs the twins just around both of their necks, like putting her arm around their shoulders, and she looks at you and she just says, so, where can someone get a drink around here? I heard the South makes some good shit.
Oh, Longhouse is that way. Point towards the Longhouse, but at least your leader should at least have a word with our Jarl. He did kind of just burst into our village.
She just looks back at the rest of the elves, and you see the woman that stepped out first. You see her kind of like just holding her face in her hands, and she says, yes, please forgive our local brute. We would be happy to speak with your Jarl. There is much to discuss, I'm sure, and we have come, well, for a specific reason. Would you allow my soldiers to, I don't know, just wait out here for a moment? And she kind of looks at the rest of them as they all, like, you can see they look excited to be in this place, like they want to go explore, but they all just nod and sort of stay put where they're standing.
Yes, as long as they're not trying to cause any havoc.
She will turn back and shout to one of the elves who's standing sort of still in the entrance of the tree. He seems like he's sort of on the fence about coming or going. But she'll shout to him and just say, Thorum, just make sure they don't get into any trouble for a while. I'll be back soon to relieve you of your duties. And he just sighs and says, all right, but I must be getting back. I don't care for it down here. And he's looking around, looking kind of disgusted as he looks over your town, and especially at the turtle druid who's just standing looking back at him in confusion. Trymere, shall we follow this gentleman to the Jarl?
Yes. Yes, of course, of course.
Please, sir, lead the way. And the other one you'll see her kind of whisper something in the ear of the twins, and they both nod, and they will lead her to the other longhouse where most of the other soldiers that just kind of or people that come through town where they would go, and the trio of them make their way into the other long. Before we go to Gorm, as you kind of lead them up to the Jarl, we'll first go to Comilla on the other side of the river. As you've just come back to life, you are immediately feeling quite hungry, but what are you doing as you see these elves and you see some of them heading off towards the longhouse?
Well, the first thing I do is like grabbing some of the water and just like squirting it in like across my eyes and just like looking around, checking if this is Brodavik or if I'm like ended up somewhere else.
Yeah, as you kind of look across the river and you see that sky tree in front of you, this is unmistakably Brodavik, and you look around to your side and you realize that you are just outside your house, and you can see your mother kind of leaning back against the blood red tree as she's just like looking relieved, but at the same time you can see there's a strange smile on her face.
So are those guests? Just pointing in the direction of the others. Like,
honestly, I have no idea. But a bunch of elves can't be a good thing. They must want something. Oh, I wish I could see your father's face. He's going to hate this so much.
wait, father didn't like elves.
What? No. Well, actually, he had quite strong opinions on elves, but not all of them, of course. But no, this ritual, what's brought you back? I'm not sure what you saw on the other side, if anything, but we can only do this so many times, you know. Eventually, something's gonna keep him down. And you can see in her hand she's still got this sort of scroll with that she's currently like folding up. It seems to be like some sort of magic scroll. You can give me an Arcana check if you want to try and identify it, but you would know that it's the thing she just used to bring you back.
18.
Yeah, you can tell that it is a pact scroll. It is the kind of this like it's made of venom. Yeah, you see, it looks like it's prepared from dozens of scales cast off a creature called a pact drake. But you know that those are used to write contracts that are kind of bound often in blood, or it's a magical contract essentially.
True, no one can escape death forever. So, living forever must be painful.
Well, I hope you don't hate me for bringing you back, but I don't believe it was your time yet. There is still much to be done here in Braudavik, and I wasn't ready to lose you.
Nah. You can say they have seen Valhalla and came back. Well, guess we better introduce ourselves to the newcomers.
Be careful. They look like northerners. If those are the folk from Odenkerfi, then they are not going to take kindly to the people of Braudavik. Northern elves can be vengeful. But come, let us get you something to eat. You must be hungry.
Famished, yes.
So the two of you head over towards the longhouse as well. As Gorm, you have brought these elves to Jan Nicholas, who's come out with his wife to kind of see what all the commotion is. And he kind of stops and looks in surprise as he sees the elves. So, oh, what is all this?
Jarl, that's, and he'll point at Onyx's wife, whose name I don't remember. That's Onyx's wife, and well, I guess her people. They live at the north, and probably, and they use the tree to get here.
She'll step forward and introduce herself. She says, "Yes, I beg your pardon for the interruption. Kudyal, I am Lady Kira. We have traveled a long way. I heard that my husband had fallen in battle with you. I've come to see what happened and hopefully retrieve something of mine that he was carrying. This is my brother, Trymir."
Yeah, Trevor just say hello.
The Jarl will just give a nod and extend a hand to shake her hand, as like she seems a little bit hesitant, um but greets her and says, "Ah, from the north. Which settlement do you hail from?" As he kind of turns to also introduce himself to you, Trymir, saying, "Jarl Nicholas, a pleasure."
Ah, yeah. And Trevor, I guess, return the handshake as well, giving you that.
"We are from Bordervet, to the north. It is the northernmost point in Mordia. I'm sure you are probably unfamiliar." "Yes, actually, but I'm sure Revna over there will be able to enlighten us. Please join us. We are having a feast with the funeral. If you would like to see the pyres, they are still burning. Your people are welcome to stay." And he seems a bit confused, like as to why the elves are already here. But he will then gesture towards Gorm and say, "Gorm here fought with Mr. Onyx. Perhaps he would be able to tell you more of what he was carrying. But I never really got the chance to know them."
Yeah, anything specific? Maybe I don't know if are we burning him with his equipment. Maybe it's somewhere there. Not entirely sure what you're looking for.
There was a note. I I believe it must have been found. I'm not sure if he found it himself or if it was. I certainly hope it wasn't lost in the battle. But there was a note addressed to him. It may have been contained in his home. And she kind of looks at you with this look of like she's scared that you're gonna say it's already been destroyed, but she has a hopeful look in her eye.
The prosthetic horn, yes. Like shuffles through its bag and takes out a note. A way for him to get back home.
Trymir, you can make a history check for me, please, as you would know about this note as well.
Okay. Ooh, 21.
So yeah, with a 21, you would know that there is some very important information on that note. There is a map, and you would want it very much because it may lead to the thing that you're investigating. I don't want to say too much just yet, but I think
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
You know there is a map to at least a piece of that, or some information you have been looking for on that, and it needs to be retrieved. It doesn't seem like they are aware of much, but this is the first. I mean, what Gorm is saying here is kind of the first information you're getting about it.
Okay.
What I mean about its whereabouts. So you can. I don't want to roleplay the whole thing. You guys can try and figure that out together, because I'm not sure where.
Yeah.
Can also interject where Onyx might have, what he might have had on him, or anything like that.
Okay. Okay. So Gorm essentially represented this the note that they found, and trying to recognize it is the importance. So,
Did you actually present the note? Sorry, I had to turn off my fan. I couldn't hear
Yeah,
properly.
I took it out of my bag.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you would see it then, and you would recognize it. Trymere as this is the thing you came here for.
oh yeah, I remember just saying, would say with a bit of enthusiasm, saying, yes, that is what we are looking for. Yeah, it kind of makes a gesture of like, oh, can you give it to me?
We came all the way here for this, not for Onyx.
Yeah.
Kira
Yeah.
says, well, we have multiple intentions, but yes, if you wouldn't mind giving that to my brother, I think he'll know what to do with it. I may go and visit the pyres, though, if you don't mind. I would rejoin you soon.
Can I insight?
Yeah.
24.
Yeah, she genuinely seems like she looks upset, like she's in mourning, but the whole group that they brought, there's clearly like they've got a whole retinue of elves here. And I'll say with the 24, you also recognize that despite them saying that, well, Trymere and Kira saying that they siblings, you see that most of the elves here look more like Trymere, except for one who has the same red hair as Kira, and you can see he looks a bit younger than the other elves, and is looking around very nervously. But oh, am I lagging out? Or is that
Oh,
just the
no.
bot?
No,
No.
can hear you properly.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear
Okay,
us?
it's just it's lagging on my end. I don't know why. But yeah, you can see that she genuinely looks like she wants to go and kind of grieve and say goodbye.
Yeah, I like smack it to Triver's chest. Just say, "Hello, brother," and I just let him grab it and follow her to the buyers.
The Jarl would then in welcome all of the elves to come and feast and drink in the halls, welcoming them as guests. So when when Kira does start heading back towards the pyres, you'll see her approach the red-headed lad and just she just sort of puts a hand on his shoulder for a second and then looks to the other one standing at the tree and says, "Thank you, Thorin. You can head back. The Jarl here has been kind enough to welcome us to spend the evening. I will be in touch when we need to open the gates again." And he will nod and just say, "Be careful down here, Kira. You know how they are." And he steps back into the tree where the gate closes, and just one of the elves disappears and leaves. So, yeah, Trymere and Carmilla, what are you guys doing as this is all sort of happening? Because Gorm, you said you're going with her to the pyres.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and for Trimer, yeah, he would pocket and note, but at the same time, he would also accompany his sister because he is aware of how important and close he was to this man.
Oh yeah. Most likely a good idea to go to the pyres, since how many times do you get to see your own funeral?
So as you guys approach the bridge, you would see Revna, one of the elves that lives here in Braudavik, would be making her way towards this massive group of elves that's just arrived. And when she sees Kira, she would sort of stop, and you'd hear Kira just saying, "Revna, is that? Oh my God!" And they would embrace as you see them both kind of talking to each other, and Revna giving this solemn look as you can sort of overhear them. Seems like they know each other, but they sort of stop there on the bridge just as Carmilla approaches the rest of the group, and Gorm. Yeah, you you see Carmilla back on her feet, and the rest of the elves kind of just looking at her with suspicion, to put it lightly, as they've just seen this seemingly an elf be brought back from the dead by some kind of dark magic.
Living for hundreds of years is fine, but being brought back to life, no.
Well, it's more the nature of how they were brought back to life.
No,
It's not.
but yeah, I get it.
And you'd also see them giving some dirty looks to Camilla's mother. You can actually, no, none of you speak Elvish, right?
No, Carmilla does.
Yep, only and Trimer as well, obviously.
Okay, yeah, so actually, Trymere and Carmilla, you can both make perception checks as you kind of hear them whispering as you walk past.
Ooh, net 20.
19.
Okay, yeah, so Carmilla, you hear them muttering. It's probably not the first time you've heard people whispering about you, like you're used to people reacting to the whole undead thing, but um, these, you can hear them just gossiping a little bit, and Trymere, you know who the real culprits are. I'm just trying to remember.
Yeah, I can just hover over there until I get to see their names.
I'm just checking. Yeah, so you'd see the first elven woman that you walk past would really be giving a dirty look and then saying to the guy next to her, just in Elvish, you'd overhear her saying, "Ah, disgusting southerners and their barbaric rituals. I hope we aren't to stay here too long." And you kind of hear the other guy just saying, "Oh, we've all made mistakes, Oriel. Let us not judge their customs so quickly." But he's giving you a look as well of like, that's fucked up.
He's not wrong.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
that's
would
all
both
Trymir hears.
you would both actually hear that, but Trymir, knowing Oriel, you would know that um, it, she's like she was born in the north and has been. She loves her tales of like elven heroes and legendary artifacts and things like this, but there's like a certain noble air of like she likes the heroic kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
dark
Yeah,
magic
basically,
like that, you know, is like a real pet peeve of hers. you So you
Okay.
can see the disdain in her face that only someone who knows her would really recognize.
Yeah. Yeah, and in Trimir's mind, he's thinking, liking this. This else seems important somehow, because if they are brought back to life, in his mind.
Yeah, all of these people that are with you would be searching for similar things. Most of them are very much um, in search of knowledge and elven artifacts, that kind of thing. Like everyone's got some reason to be doing that. Uh,
Mhm.
but yes, some people have got different lines than others. And as you approach, as she approaches, actually, you can make an Arcana check if you want to see kind of what that is that seems to be affecting her.
Okay.
But yeah, what is it?
No, damn, it's so close to not telling you, but it's a 6.
Yeah, she looks pale, but I mean, you come from the north, you're pretty used to seeing pale elves. She might be a pallid elf, maybe, but the there's a good chance that she's undead somehow, and
Uh,
this is probably like some kind of Draugr creature that is taken an elven form.
okay. Yeah, for Trymir, yeah, he would find it quite very unusual and peculiar. Unsure what to make of it, but there must be reasons. He now wonders about the skincare routine, about how, wondering about how do undead things keep their skin. Essentially, that's on his mind right now.
I mean, it does sound like a pretty elvish thing to do. To like, you spend 100 years trying to figure out a skincare routine for the undead. Yeah, at this point, the three of you have kind of come together there, and um, yeah, Kira seems to be sort of catching up with Revner for a moment before the two of them continue on down towards the pyres, and it seems like they are old friends or old acquaintances at least. And yeah, if no one up there is interacting, then Yormund, would you like to describe what they're walking towards as you stand before the funeral pyres and Onyx is sort of on the one in the center, and there are one or two other ones burning beside. But there's only about 10, not even 10. There's like 7 bodies. You didn't lose that many units.
Yormund, silhouetted by the fire, still wearing his armor as usual, except that his sword is sticking out of the ground, the blade in the soil, and his shield is resting against it to the side of him. And he has his helmet under his arm, and he just stares into the fire. And Shepard seems to share his gaze. As the others approach, Shepard will turn around, have a look, and keep looking, but Yormund will keep looking into the fire.
Yeah, you see your mother also is kind of looking at these new elves suspiciously, but Revna gives her a nod and she seems to calm down a little bit as you hear some people approaching behind you. But very likely, elven footsteps after all.
And
Just
my
a gorm.
footsteps, which are louder, much louder.
Pots and pans and shit.
And some pepper and salt.
Yeah, you would notice also that Yeoman that Camilla is not on any of these pyres, but you're not sure. Maybe she just burned up real quick. Or maybe there wasn't a body to burn.
I just pet Yomun's shoulder. Slept well, princess?
Yeah. Yormund still looks into the fire. How many pyres do you think have been lit for all of time? Hundreds of thousands at least. Millions, maybe. Do you think even billions?
Maybe. No point in counting them.
Hmm.
You see through the flames on the other side of the pyre, you just see through the heat and just this flickering light, the face of an elf that moves into view, followed by another. But for a moment, it's like for a moment you think you see Camilla, and then you realize that that's definitely not her. But she looks familiar. This can, I mean, you can make an insight check to recognize that it's the same woman you saw in the battle. But A, you're concussed, and B, she looks quite different to then. She looks a lot more. She looks a bit older, and I mean, hard to tell on an elf, but she definitely looks more like regal. Yeah, I'd say with a 19, you recognize her, and you remember seeing her stabbing Onyx like shortly before you went unconscious.
Yeah. And he was notified that the Cheaton was using trickery.
Yeah. Yeah, you also remember your mother punching you in the face, which she claims not to have done. But yeah, what one remembers and what one is told is true can be vastly different.
Jormund looks up from the fire of the elves. Shepard shares his gaze, and he just says, "Is this your first time here?" "In Broderick."
Yeah, you can see she is looking just through tear-stained eyes into the flames as well, and barely even seems to register what you're saying. But Trymere is looking at you as well. I mean, you're both standing together. She just seems quite taken by the body on the pyre, and she seems to be looking at it in shock at first.
Trimer will just give a nod to Yorkman's question.
Jormund looks at the body she's looking at. He'll see that it's Onyx, and he'll say, "The last thing I remember saying to him, well, I shouted at him."
Ooh.
I thought he would leave a dear friend of mine to die, while he went off and played the hero to slay the vile beast. I believe he was the only one who had a healer's kiss on him. I sat there, helpless, laughing, mad, at my friend dying, and him punching away. But he lived. They both lived. And that was the last thing I ever said to him. I should have told him. I should have said sorry.
We all have our regrets, she says. You can see she is crying now, but she's thinking about the last thing that she said to Onyx. And though it was so long ago, what was the last thing that she said to Onyx there? I'm going to give that to you, Alison.
Oh.
Or how did they leave things? Like, what was it that actually split them apart?
Oh. I kind of, in a way, I kind of left it vague for you to come up with them, but essentially, yeah, essentially what although this is unknown to Alex, but essentially what happened was apparently basically lurking enemies of the elves, and basically Kira had to hunker down and be quiet. So that's essentially how they separated. But in a way, they separated with final words saying something about if fate, kind of like if fate allows it, we may like meet again one day. That's kind of how it left off.
Okay, yeah. So it wasn't. They weren't like aggressive. It was
No,
that she was aware, or they were both aware that they would hope to see each other again.
Mhm.
And yeah, she would sort of say as she looks out over the fire, just I had hoped he would find my note before and that we would be reunited, but I suppose perhaps now he is reunited with our daughter. At least I hope. And yeah, she just is lost, staring into the fire.
Well, that he is. So I step in near the fire.
I thought there was one missing.
Well, couldn't get rest in the afterlife. After all, you were crying so much that I could hear it there, so I had to go back.
I was asleep. For the last 5 days.
Crying yourself to sleep for the past 5 days. No wonder it reached the afterlife, that crying.
I had no time to cry. Shield hit my jaw, and next thing I remember, here I am. But I suppose elves can be quite tricky. Jorman looks to Carmilla and then to the other two elves on the other side of the fire. Jormund will pick up his shield, take his sword out the ground, and start heading off.
Revna will sort of shout to you as she sees you walking past and just say, "You don't intend on using those, Yeoman. You know, Ingrid said you need to get your rest. It's glad as I am to see you up and about again. I don't think you should be back to training so soon."
Well, if I can swing a sword, I ought to do it.
In fact, your mother looks at you proudly as she just gives a nod. Says, "We'll see you in the longhouse." So yeah, Lady Kira would probably spend a bit more time there, and Trymere, you'd get the impression that she seems to want to be alone for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't say so explicitly, but you can see that she needs a moment. But
Okay,
it
understood.
does seem like everyone is heading to the Longhouse. Kamala and Gorm, are you doing anything else there at the pyre?
No, I head to the Longhouse.
Okay, and once again, I have unfortunately not fully prepped the Longhouse map, so we're just going to stay on this one for now. But everyone does filter into the Longhouse as is. Yeah, it's about 3 in the afternoon by now. People are gathered. Some people are already quite drunk, as it is a funeral and a Viking funeral, and they're partying just about as hard as if if it were a
The last.
feast. They are both celebrating that these warriors have made it to Valhalla and that they have taken this fortress. They have earned a great victory here, and spirits in Bradavik are high. Like, as
Yeah.
even though there are funeral pyres burning, people are partying.
Yeah. Plus, on the way back, Mikhail found some lot of stuff: ice steel ore and gravitite. Like it was a success, but not
The
without
dwarves,
cost.
the dwarves have been hard at work getting this mine going. So you can see some of them are just coming back into town to try and like get some lunch, as they've been busy getting things going, and it's quite busy here in Bradavik today. Lots of elves, lots of dwarves coming and going. There's just but suspiciously few Goliaths. The Goliaths seem to be keeping to themselves and are probably undergoing their own customs with the death of their chieftain. But you haven't seen them interact with Bradavik much at all. Yeah, that said, you guys all head back into the tavern and we'll theatre of the mind it a little bit. But Niklas is there. A couple of the elves have started to make themselves comfortable, and yeah, they are all just sitting at one table, but they are in the long.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess while sitting down, Trymir is like, in the middle of checking out the important note. Check it. trying to remember the details of it and stuff like that.
Okay, so you can give an investigation or an arcana check as you manage to find yourself a seat at the table, probably with the rest of the rest of this party.
Okay.
And because you also know that if anyone would know anything more about this note, it would probably be the people that Onyx was fighting with. And yeah, you can sit down there at the table, unfill this note, and take a look at it. At first glance, there is a small map that leads back to where you just came from, which, other than maybe a tiny security concern, is like not what you were looking for. And it seems like this is just a little love letter.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Trymir will hold it on for his sister because his sister's more intellectually gifted than he is. Like right now for Trymir, he's more of a censor in magic than a investigator.
Well, exactly. Currently, you've just been investigating it.
Yeah.
And so with a 12, it seems like it may have some sort of magic on it, but a 12's not very good. Was that?
Yeah.
Okay, it was Arcana you did, not investigation. So I'd say with the Arcana, you can tell that there is some sort of enchantment on this page, and you do know that it sort of sent an alarm to Kira when it was opened,
Okay.
but you don't think that's the only charm on this page. There could be something else here, but it might be magical.
Okay. Then Trimer, he knows the spell magic, so he can cast that.
Okay, are you gonna?
Yep. I can choose a creature, object, magical type. So yeah, he'll do that on the note.
So what does his spell casting look like? As the rest of you are also sitting at this table and seeing him going over this note. So I'll give you a chance to react as you're seeing this, and if Trymir could explain what it looks like as you're doing this spell.
I can imagine. It almost looks. Yeah, it almost looks like you see almost like gear like images, visages in a way. Like Trimer's like untangling something within this note as he casts his spell magic. Like yeah, basically that's what you see. Like basically instead of magic circles, it seems to be visages of gears, which is unusual.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems like, I mean, gears are not unknown, but what you're seeing here seems like some sort of elven cogs. Like that, this is technology that maybe Mikhail might be able to identify, but to the rest of you would be completely foreign.
Yorman would be lucky and he'd ask, "Where are you from?"
Well, he'll say, "Well, as my sister said, from the far north, but let's just say I drank something unknown, and strange. Well, strange things happened, but they were good things in a way. kind of got well, kind of went with fortune favors of old and did something bold and kind of paid off."
Yorman's eyes slightly squints and he says, "A drink made you
No,
change where you're from?"
no. Let's just say I found something. Didn't know what it was, even when casting the identify spell. But might as well find out while try drinking it, and yeah, it had some unusual effects, but they were good effects to me. To me, it is.
How old are you?
Oh damn, out of character. I didn't think of it. Damn it.
Yeah. Now Yorman is wondering if you've always been an elf.
Oh no, he would. I would say he would be young for an elf. He would probably be in his 70s. That's what I would think.
Yeah, I mean, young could still be like in your early hundreds, like this.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, yeah. It's good. Yeah, it's kind of okay. I'll do that then. Early hundreds.
Yeah, and I would say that would also help to explain why you have access to that kind of magic and why you have knowledge of the things you're looking for. Is they have been forgotten for centuries, but you would actually have some knowledge of, like, when you were a younger elf, that was like, it was more common knowledge. So I mean, you can go as old as 500, I would say, if you want to go that much older. But
Okay.
yeah, it's up to you. Anywhere in the last 500 years, you could have come from.
Okay.
But as you say that, you are looking down at this note, which has a map to where you come from, and as you cast this dispel magic, you will see that the paper is going to like actually unfurl itself even wider than it should be. Like it just seems to magically unfold into a slightly larger map, and you see that ink starts to just like almost appear on the page as though it were just being soaked into the material, or soaked onto the parchment, like and in this sort of elvish calligraphy style, you will see a hand-drawn map expand, and where it was pointing to Bordavet, you see it is actually a path leading from Bordavet and to a marked location, which is on the larger map, but you would know that this is the location of one of the last known, one of the last known location of a destroyed Titan.
Okay.
And I'll open the big map to show you where it is pointing to, but you have got this navigation marker. Bordavet is right up at the top.
Mhm.
And the Titan is here. No, it's in the mountains.
Okay. Within the west here. Okay.
Yeah, it's like in the mountains. You wouldn't know exactly where but there is basically a path leading from Bordavet down past Browder and into the mountains here. It seems like where the Svartalheim Alliance thing is. Can you,
Yeah, I see where you're pointing.
it's basically pointing to there.
Ah, okay. Oh yeah, and I wonder where was like the forge that Hyorin was asking about, like wanting to go to, like where is that as well?
That's Browder, right next to it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you would be able to tell that this map has got there. This is a magical um, map that was sort of sealed. The spell that was keeping it just looking like that tiny little note is now dispelled. But I'll give you the item for this map in a minute if I can still find it. Sorry, some of the things are a bit broken on
Yeah,
Foundry. But yeah, this is a big find for you. Like this is the first actionable location you've had in a long time.
right, awesome.
It's called Scroll of Mapping, assuming we're talking about the same thing.
That is the one, yeah. Did I give one to Gorm? I know. I think
Jerry.
Jerry has.
Yeah. That's how I know.
Yeah, I think it's for the same sort of. Yeah, I'll add it to your character sheet when you find it. But the rest of you
Yeah.
would see this like map unfurling before him as he casts that spell.
Yeah, and I wonder, quick out of character question. I wonder what is the farthest you guys traveled in this world map of Mordia?
With you, it's probably the furthest we traveled.
Oh really? Oh okay.
Maybe east. Maybe when we traveled to the Savior Tower, maybe it was a bit further ahead. But
Well, I'll say
sure.
you've explored most of this map that I'm loading up now. Like you haven't gone as far east as like the like Dragonstone Amphitheater and the Lizard Folk Village. But yeah, from the old fort, oh god, you can't zoom all the way out anymore. And yeah, you've pretty much covered. At least you've gone to several corners of this map,
Okay.
several sides of it. But now, at this point, you are able to explore a much larger region, and I'm hoping that we can get out of this area. There are still things to explore, but uh, these places will also be easier to go to during winter. Like if you want to do a long expedition, it's best to do it in the summer months when the seas aren't frozen over.
Okay. And what is the season now?
It is
Summer.
the summer, it's the end of summer, almost autumn. In fact, you would know as an elf, you would know that autumn is like right around the corner. You've seen there've been some Eladrin in Bordervet. The autumn Eladrin and the summer Eladrin have been hanging out lately. It seems like there's a Passover, but
Okay.
so yeah, you've got a few weeks left of summer, and um, yeah, to that point, the rest of you that are familiar with Browdovik, after this battle to take the mountain fort, you know, you raised quite a significant force to go and do that, and Browdovik is broke, man. Like they, other than the money that you guys have on you personally, the city is in desperate need of finances for the coming winter. The the sort of quest to go and redeem Torg was not very financially um, fruitful.
Ooh.
So yeah, Bradovic may be in a bad way, and that could hurt your chances against other opponents if you aren't able to bring in some more resources uh, by the winter. You're opening a new mine as well. That's costing money. There's a lot of money going out of the city at the moment, and I don't really want to get into the minutia of it right now. But part of it does need cash. You guys are going to have to figure something out.
Well, it's either we go raiding or we extend the trade.
Hmm. I, yeah. I believe like extending trade by land is right now more sufficient at this moment because oh wait, hold on. I wonder. So when it's winter, it's the rivers that will freeze first, or like will there still be like trade by the ocean even during winter?
Well, ocean trade is what becomes very problematic. It's this whole bay becomes like covered in ice sheets and look, I mean, to be honest, I'm not all that familiar with exactly the dangers. I will I will be looking a lot of that up in winter. I do live in
Okay.
Africa, so my knowledge of the shit that can go wrong in the cold is limited.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to look up some Norwegian, Norway. Basically the Nordic issues over winter, like if they have
Yes.
problems in trade.
So forgive me if I misunderstand how some things work, and those of you that have experienced the North, please correct me when I fuck things up. But they are also, I mean, you've seen that there's a whole field of icebergs not that far from Browdovik that whether that's naturally occurring or whether that's magical, you know that those things are there all year round, and uh, it gets a lot worse in the winter. This bay becomes very treacherous, as does most of the coastline. Especially remember you're in longships. It's very easy to get a longship stuck in the ice.
Okay.
Because also the whole, I think part of it, the reason why ice is actually quite dangerous is because the the whole point of a longship is that it doesn't go that deep. It doesn't scrape along the bottom of a river if you're sailing on a more narrow river. But that also means that it just slides onto ice. It doesn't break through it like a bigger ship would. Could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's a big problem with long ships in the cold. So most of the time when it's winter, if you're not in Braudavik, you may actually want to spend the winter wherever you've ended up, you know?
So what it is, I think, what was it when the new king of Lostavik got here? He mentioned someone we have to deal with. So
Yeah,
trade will be
basically-
safe. Was
He
it
was
the
talking about
serpents
the
or Ren?
sea. I think it was
Yeah,
the
the-
serpents.
Yeah, Rand's undersea call it. Oh yeah, basically the serpents are causing issues, and the reason why is because Rand apparently has some kind of artifact in control of some of them.
Yeah, you can make a history check if you want to sort of recap in character, but it's all, yeah, it's all right. Okay, so Gorm, you would know specifically, you would remember this is, I mean, I don't think you were actually there the session that we got this information, but
Yeah,
you definitely would have made note of it, I'm sure, because after Ailson was defeated, Ailson basically used to run Flostavik, the Serpent's Embrace, and Rand's Undersea Colony all together. They were all like united under Ailson. But when you guys defeated Ailson, Flostavik lost its Jarl, and Rand had to take control of the Undersea Colony again. So all of their domains got a little bit smaller, and they suddenly it fucked with all of them. And the Serpent's Embrace is now trying to break away from Rand's Undersea Colony because Rand is using the artifact that Ailson had to control the serpents, but they don't want to work for Rand. They were working for Ailson under duress, and now that Ailson's gone, they want out, but they can't get out because Rand still has control of them. And Flostavik and Braudavik and Skakutoka, no one really likes the serpents being under that control because they're disrupting shipping. They're these giant dragon eels that have been attacking ships and just causing problems in the bay. But when you interacted with those mermaids, they were blaming Rand's colony. So the Serpent's Embrace has asked for your assistance in retrieving an artifact from Rand's undersea colony that would allow them to break free. But Rand is the daughter of Aegir, so that's a
Daughter
big
or
ask.
wife?
Daughter, I think, isn't it? Am I mixing them up?
Maybe both.
oh my gosh.
Hey, I mean, it's under the
gods.
sea. Rules are different.
oh yeah, oh yeah, and I remember amidst during like the crash with the mermaids, like Onyx helped out a sea serpent and basically mentioned, I will never forget this, like Onyx and his companions. So like
Aegir
that's
is their
still like,
husband.
yeah. Oh yeah, and what else? Oh yeah, I remember that if we are interested in helping the serpents, we find Nautilus hold a fortress north beneath the surface under Tide Lord Banliel Abyssal Court. Yeah, so like somewhere in the bay, there's a fortress.
Right, guys, just give me a second. I'm gonna restart Discord. You
Okay.
guys are barely audible to me. I think I'm missing.
Yeah, all good.
I suppose it wouldn't be hard to get Flostavik and Skokotoku in an alliance.
Yeah.
But what are we
Yeah.
going to do with that alliance? How are we gonna?
Yeah. Right now, it was confirmed that Flostavik is like open to trade if we are able to deal with the stop the serpents from, or in this case, stop Rand from using the artifact and attacking, disrupting the trade of ships through sea.
Yeah, but I mean, like, of all the major factions and even the minor factions along the coast, that I presume they'd mostly want to be in on dealing with the serpents.
Mm-hmm.
But just when that does happen, if that does happen, how are we going to use that to actually get it done?
Yeah. Oh well. Oh wait. So you're asking of like what method can we use to like
Well,
basically
this is
stop?
just like an out of party thing because it seems the easiest way to deal with the whole issue is get that artifact.
Yeah. Oh
How are we
yeah.
going to use Flostavik and Skakotoku's help, assuming we can get it, to help us get that artifact?
Ah, okay.
Would we need their help?
Yeah, and we also can meet up with some of the serpents, as I mentioned before, at the Nautilus hold, like controlled by Tide Lord Ben Leal, Abyssal Court. I wrote in my notes, so we can also uh, basically go there and ask that Lord for some advice or info on how to steal the artifact and basically what they know, what are they experiencing.
Okay. And DM, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool. How long is it now until next White Knight? Because we still have the dragon thing looming.
That is a good question. I was trying to remember that myself. So I didn't say a specific date.
No, you just said the next White Knight.
Yeah, and I think you described it as like the 5th season or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
When it's all daytime.
Yeah, I think that starts in the month of Ekron. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, it wouldn't be. What is the month now, Laura? No, it won't be.
It's Zek now.
Yeah, I think it either starts in Lori or Ekron. It's either at the end of autumn or the beginning of spring on the calendar that we have on here. I'm not 100% sure, but you've got a couple of months. Like you've got
Okay.
yeah, you've got at least a few months. I'll get you an exact date, but that's not the
It's
most
not
like
urgent.
immediate.
Got it. Cool.
You would know that the hags are probably that's probably a bigger issue. Like you did sort of make enemies of them, and the lizard folk also not too keen on you at the moment. So there is still some danger like from those surrounding factions
Oh yeah,
and even the dragon lords. Like you only spoke with the one, but that said, it's like I think you get the idea.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
yeah.
Those
Because
are
we
your
still got
most hostile faction.
basically we got some enemies within the proximity of Broderick we gotta deal with still.
Mhm.
Well, you don't. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. Obviously, where you want to go, who you want to deal with. The whole bay is obviously that's a pretty big problem as well. Like if you want to be dealing with those sea serpents and things, that's just as pressing an issue.
Yeah, I did
But
ask
I'm
if
just
we
saying
can.
you've got options.
Okay.
I did ask if we can select an intrigue and like march towards the hags. Like we send the armies there while we venture somewhere else.
Ooh.
Yeah. Honestly,
Yeah, you can also for like smaller quests and things that you're like too high level for or that you don't want to waste time with, you can send units to go and take care of those things for you. But generally, these big factions, those are like the kinds of quests that you probably actually want to play out yourself.
Okay.
But yeah, you can absolutely lead an army to. You can start an intrigue with them while you go on another quest. Because remember, even the leading up to the actual battle, that's like weeks. So you might be able to go on a whole expedition and come back while the rest of your town is planning and preparing.
yeah. And actually, that sounds like a good plan. I was thinking we start intrigue on the hags, or if we think the lizard folk are going to be a problem, them as well, or them instead. While we can go and either along the shore or on land, probably along the shore, pass by Skakutokod, bring up the idea of an alliance and what we're trying to do. Maybe bring an envoy, go to Flostavik, and start planning with everyone involved.
Yeah, but if trade ships can't get to Frostovik properly, you think we will be able to get there?
Well, we're not trade ships.
And still, it's a long ship, not a bigger ship. It's mostly fit for rivers. Not we'll have to go around everything to get there.
Yeah.
Sailing straight there is much more dangerous.
Well, it's also like deep water, so I don't think we'd be able to straight sail there anyway. I mean, it's not so bad.
I think you just need one ship upgrade to be able to sail across the bay, like at normal speed. Otherwise, you'd be sailing over it as though it was difficult terrain. But yeah, as Gorm says, it's much more dangerous.
Well, we're Vikings.
We need
And
to be
sorry, just
idiots.
to that point, if you look down at the bottom, like you'll see the real deep sea. That you can't go out there yet.
So where ends
Yeah.
colony, like the edge?
Yeah, if you like zoom out, you can kind of see the different layers of the
Yeah.
like. So yeah, you're in the bay. You're probably still alright. But yeah, sailing straight across the bay is going to be that would be like difficult terrain once you get kind of past the edge of the reef.
Well, it's your longship, so I think that's fair to say it's your call.
And I know we've been confused about how far a ship can actually travel, but I have fixed it now. So it would, I think you can go 25 miles a day.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you were following that coastline, it would only be a few days to cross. You can control, yeah, just. And I'll also point out that if you were going to Browder, I'm not sure if you can see can you see the rings around all the factions?
No,
you
just
ca-
our own.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
if I
Oh,
On
wait,
my
bring-
map,
wait,
I can see all of their domains, so it kind of hides
Oh
some
yeah.
certain things.
Yeah, for
So
me,
you
I
can
can see
the-
some of the domains for me.
Okay.
But yeah, so I just wanted to point out there's those two rivers that would probably be ideal if you were going to Browder. But I'm just pointing. I just wanted to point out the rivers because I can't actually see them properly on my screen.
Oh yeah, I
You
see
can
him.
see them.
This.
Yeah, these two factions are just because they overlap in the middle. It's like it's quite dark here.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, yeah, I think it's definitely worth speaking to Browder if we are going along the shore. It'd be a small detour.
But what's our end goal? Are we going to deal with the colony or what?
We're gonna, well, hopefully this big alliance at the beginning we can say it's to deal with the colony, yeah. And
Yeah.
then if all goes well after that, just becomes a regular alliance. Good trade partners, good, I don't know, neighbors.
Yep. Yes, the serpents are happy. Good to have like some not aggressive enemies in the bay.
Yeah. And if they do start a problem, well, at least we have an alliance to deal with them.
True, true.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
I think Onyx's internet just died. Oh, Tremir's.
Yeah.
He'll be back in a minute. But I mean, to be fair, his I'm still not sure why he's going to be joining us. But actually, I suppose he does want to go in that direction. So we'll see when he gets back.
He's online.
On his
mobile.
phone. In the,
Typing.
I assume we're still at the tavern or the longship.
Yeah, he's still at the tavern here. We at this point, I mean, unless there's anything in particular with the elves, will kind of be going into your like downtime where you can continue doing things like 5 days at a time. There's not in intrigue right now, but you are able to use all of those things. And you have
Then
got a
just
new fortress and there's mines being built and stuff. So if there's things that you want to start getting into and planning and plotting, you can do those and then we'll plan an expedition if you guys want to go on that kind of a mission while all the rest is happening.
Okay,
Yeah.
hello. Okay, guys.
hello.
Oh, okay. Okay, there you go. I'm back. Discord crashed for me.
But DM, I was mostly just thinking, Yorman's gonna ask just the people around. Well, actually, he's probably gonna lean over to Gorham with the new guy here and ask, so what exactly happened in that fight after I got knocked out?
It was close. I went down myself at some point. But from what I understand, our armies managed to destroy theirs and breach into the fortress. We'll let the Goliaths take the traitor with them. Do with him as they wish.
And nothing was weird? You didn't see anything strange happening?
At the fort. If you mean the illusions, yeah, I saw them. Made an illusion of your mother and smacked you in the face.
Yeah, I'm more worried about the other one. The one that killed Onyx.
Again, also an illusion.
Yes, but someone made that illusion. Made that illusion in that image. And she looks an awful lot like the new elf that's come to. Well, I don't know what they're here for.
Yeah, that's her.
that doesn't seem to raise any flags for you.
Well, your mother smacking you in the face should also raise a few flags, but
Well, yes, but this is her first time in Browdovik. Maybe not in the area, but I'd imagine this is her first time in the area. So, why was her image used? If she's never been here, doesn't know many people here, much less people the people who spawn those illusions. Why?
I don't know how the illusion works. Should ask Mikil. Maybe the X can, I don't know, work magic on the person's mind. That's how he saw his wife. Same way you saw your mother. I don't know.
Well, my mother's a bit fucking well known here.
Yep. Maybe not the Goliaths. The traitors, Goliaths.
She's been the strong arm of Browdovik since it was Browdovik, I think.
Yeah, but
Most
the
in the area.
Goliaths were not always here. Probably been a bit away. They ventured here hunting.
But it wasn't all Goliaths either. There were others more local.
Yeah, but the Goliaths used the magic. So unless you got an exact description of your mother and used it on you,
Sketches, paintings. I swear I've seen a couple fucking idiots on the battlefield with a pencil and paper, but I don't know. Maybe Mikkel would know, but if he could take the time to fucking show up once in a while in the longhouse, maybe visit me, well, he probably did. You know what? I've half a mind to just drag him out that damn forge.
you don't have to drag him. He's crafting for me now. You got your weapon.
You know what? Funny that. Yeah, I have this weapon, but I have nothing for it. And he just thumbs around in the empty gem slot.
Maybe there'll be something in the forge. The one belonging to our giant friend.
Did he say where it was?
Browder.
Huh.
Somewhere around there. He knows the way. Probably if we get around the area, he can lead us.
Yeah, it's probably just magic doing its thing, but I'm still wary.
Yeah, by all means.
At this point, Victoria would arrive, Carmela's mother, and she would put down a goblet in front of Carmela of what looks like wine from afar. But Carmela, you can smell the like coppery smell. It is a whole goblet of blood. And she's going to just lean in close and say, "Drink up, my dear. I'm afraid this is going to become more of a habit if you keep getting your head lopped off."
Well, to drink.
And you will quickly realize that this blood, which you assume that is animal blood, like you've often gotten, you know, she gets it from the butcher for you, but you would quickly be able to tell that it is not as good as you remember it. Like it's not as filling as it was before. It just doesn't quite hit the spot. It's like maybe there was something wrong with the blood of this thing, but it's not really that good. You feel like you need something better.
Alright. I guess once we out where we are going, we can find something a bit more tasty.
Not to your liking.
The vintage is a bit stale. I prefer a little bit younger vintage. 20 years old or something.
And I'm just gonna roll an insight check just to figure out whether it's blood or wine.
I mean, you've known Kamala long enough. You're pretty
Yeah.
sure that's blood,
Just making sure. So
like dribbling down it shit. Like, to be fair, you just came back from the dead, so the hunger is intense, but at the same time, it is a different kind of hunger than you've been completely used to. Yeah, I imagine she's not being delicate about drinking this, but correct me if I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
yeah, that's a bit fucked. Yorman just reaches for actual wine, looks in the like the pouring jug, just swirling around, making sure it's wine and not blood.
A mistake you've made all too often while sitting at the same table as Kamala. I'm starting to understand your two, the reason you two are all back and forth. But yeah, you'll find that Bradovic is fully equipped tonight, especially though the food is running out fast. It does seem like they have had to feed these armies, and it hasn't been easy. Like Gorm does have his infinite food hack now. So
It's not infinite food, but still have to get the ingredients themselves.
Oh yeah, I remember you made some good rolls during our domain action stuff.
yeah, I mean, Trymere, how are you reacting to all this? You see, the one that was brought back is drinking blood. The other two are discussing these illusions and what to do next. Have you just been looking at the map the whole time, or are you engaging with them at all?
Oh man, out of character, I must say, stop playing playing a new character that's being introduced after my character died. So this is like my first, because Onyx is my first PC death. So this is new to me. Okay.
You know, make total sense for your character to be confused as hell. Like, just as confused as you're probably feeling. Like, all of this would be new information to them. So I feel like that's an
Okay.
appropriate response.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, no pressure. This is
Yeah.
meant to be fun.
I think for Trymere, he would be like, a lot of issues this town's facing. Same time. Honestly, I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
You would have overheard them when they were talking about where to sail next. You would have overheard them mentioning Browder, which you would know on the map is not too far from the place that I'm
Oh, yeah.
assuming you are hoping to go, but you would be able to tell that they are probably planning on heading in the same direction that you most likely are, and sounds like they have a longship, which
Ah, okay.
the way you guys got here was by walking along the branches of Yggdrasil. There are certain trees that kind of act like fast travel points around the world, and the Great Sky Tree here in Braudavik is one of them. Which,
Ah, okay.
to that point, if you join this party, you guys would unlock the fast travel to Bordevet.
Right, right. Okay. Let me see on how I can RP this. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. What were you gonna say, Liam?
I was just going to say you can take a minute to think about it if you want. I just that should be a sort of, we need to figure out how we're going to get you into the party just out of character.
Yeah.
As I mean, the elves are here, and it seems like Kira is in mourning, and the rest of the elves, they are part of your little retinue here. So if you guys wanted to, you could bring those elves with you on a longship. Like it could be all of those elves together, but right now they are just in mourning, and it seems like they'll have a more important discussion with the Jarl
Okay.
later on.
Okay, got it. Okay. I believe. Okay, so Gorm and Jorgman were basically talking about traveling and what to plan to do next. Is correct?
Yeah, you're all sat at the same table. Everyone can hear this conversation going.
Okay. Yeah. I think Trimir would. He would go over to Gorm and Jorgman saying, "It's Tuesday. I hope you don't mind me intruding, but I've heard of your possibly traveling to Prada. Am I not mishearing?"
Yorma just nods.
Ah, that's good. You see, found this map, and basically some ruins that I personally want to explore that are nearby Brada. Uh, uh, and as you can tell, we don't have a lot of good traveling methods besides what you've seen today.
Traveling
I'm
to
asking
a
if
tree
I
wherever you want sounds pretty decent way to travel.
yes, but not any tree. But anyway, I am asking if I can accompany you on your longship and travel to this while traveling to this Brada, and you may do the same. Well, if you wish to accompany me on this traveling through the ruins, who knows what kind of treasures you may find.
Do you think you can survive the journey?
Yes, I can. I can take care of myself quite well. Thank you very much.
Well, never mind. Sure, feel free to come along.
I would also say, Yormund, you would have noticed some of the other elves that were walking around. You would have noticed that they are jacked. Like they seem like they probably have some. Either they are workers, but looking at them and the weapons and things that they're carrying, you're pretty sure that most of those elves are warriors. I'm not sure exactly what Trimir's.
Oh yeah, Trimer's
Well,
not. Yeah, I'll be honest. Trimer's not. He's not. He's not looking so like a martial like the rest. But at the same time, he does have some some talent. You did see him casting some powerful dispel magic, so that's something. You don't know what else he can do, but it
Yeah, so
seems very
Yorman
confident.
would know. You'd know that this dude's a caster, but the elves that he's traveling with, they seem like they probably would be a challenge if you wanted to get into a fight. They seem, if you're judging based on strength, these guys seem all right.
Yeah.
This guy in particular, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically, the other elves are like basically another group of officers like yourselves. You're officers yourselves. Yeah, the other elves are just like other officers of another land.
Well, our casualty rate has been high as of late, so fair warnings are given.
Well, I am confident in my abilities, and I'm sure they'll be quite helpful, no matter what kind of terrain or dangers lurk among the Mordia. I promise I won't be too much of a bother, or a bother at all.
Well, I can't say I've had the best impression of elves so far. Plus, you are from the north?
Yes, the far north, bored of it.
Hmm. Well, I don't know exactly when we'll be leaving, but be sure to come find you when we do.
Understood. I'm in no rush, or no rush at all for you.
So, up north, I don't know, are towns particularly different? Do you come from a city or a town?
Oh, it is a small remote settlement among the forests.
Something like this?
Yeah, possibly, but maybe with less water. Or wait, hold on, out of character. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. No, Mortimer is like in the north, so wait, no, there would be an equal amount of water because I'm being near the bay.
Yeah, you would know that it's much colder up there for sure. You are like the waters there are usually frozen. I mean, you can even see the ice caps on the map, but
Yeah,
you would know that, like, I'm sure you can see the light there on the map. The
yeah.
biggest thing about Bordovet is where the Aurora Borealis is the strongest. Like that is the sky is just constantly lit by those lights, and it is mainly in the forests. But you would know that like no one goes into the sea unless you want to freeze to death. So it is a very a much colder region than here. This is quite tropical as far as it's still
Yeah.
it's still Mordia, but this is less pine forests. There are obviously still pine trees around here, but it's more. Yeah, I mean it's much.
Yeah, I see.
I think I said it. Yeah, much warmer here.
Yeah. I try and remember just basically mention that kind of stuff in Fort of it.
Right. Well then, shall we start? Well, let's recap. We are going to intrigue the hags. We are ourselves. We are going to go along the coast to Skokotokur, Brada, and Flostavik.
Hmm.
Well, is that much agreed on?
Yeah. I wonder. Yeah. Out of character. I wonder. Since you're going to intrigue on the hags, are you gonna like regroup with Torg, see how he's doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I will say in that region, Torg will be a special unit that you could raise as one of your domain actions to go and tell Torg, like, it's time. Because he also by this point will have reclaimed much of that swamp, and you'll probably even have a, like, if you wanted to pitch the battle there, that might be to your advantage. But also, as we said, you guys can go on your own expedition while this intrigue is happening, because each domain turn takes 5 days. So we can just keep coming back to that. I'll just keep a combat open on this map, and then we can do the intrigue here and go into an actual expedition if you want to plot where you guys are going to sail to it for like regular D&D stuff.
Okay.
So we can do that now if you want to. Just we can put waypoints down. We're not going to do it at daily waypoints because you don't have to have a like stop and rest every day. But it's going to be the waypoints are the places where you will be stopping and probably doing some sort of activity that you're planning on doing. So you can tell me where those points are, and then we can try and plot out a route.
Yeah.
Skokotokur probably is the first stop.
Yep. So
Can you see the waypoint marker?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
Yeah,
we do
so
see. Yeah.
you can just hover your cursor over where you want to put it, and I will plop one down.
Oh, I love drawing crosses.
Oh, I mean, go ahead.
Then our next point would probably be for going into Broader, I'd like to go through this river. Not only just because it looks like it'll get us closer, but I'm
Yeah.
all interested about this Worm
Yeah,
Hunters
based on
Conclave.
Yeah. Also, based on what I'm seeing, it seems like the looks like the only river that will go to Brada.
Yeah, that's also a good point.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I'll point out most of the rivers you can see on this scale your longship can probably travel on.
Yeah.
And then from there to Flostavik. And then, well, I'm not sure where we'd go after. Will we just start heading back immediately, or are we going to station there to deal with the colony thing? But I suppose...
Yeah, I say it depends on our interaction with Flostavik.
Yeah. We'll figure it out later.
Well, we can make Flostavik the final destination, and then you can plot your return journey when you get there. Okay. I'm going to draw a little Or actually, does someone want to just take the polygon tool and just connect a plot that you want to take, and then we can
Yep.
smooth it afterwards?
How do I end this?
We'll just hit enter.
Or double click.
Oh yeah, that did it. Oh fuck again.
Yeah, if you did something, I don't see it.
Oh really? Fuck.
Is it there on your screen?
Oh, you'll never get. It just disappeared.
Try Control Z.
No, it's just showing up with the crosses again. Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, I can see the waypoints. We can use the dotted lines as examples.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
basically just following the dotted lines.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's, it's very obvious.
Yeah,
But I mean, that does. Okay, so you're following the coastline and then that river. That's,
Yes.
okay, I'll follow the river then.
yeah,
But yeah, you can still try and draw a line if you want, because I know there's can be satisfying as well. But
yeah.
because each of those points there's like, I know we haven't done proper expeditions in a while, but it's like you've got the waypoints, and in between are the stretches that there'll be possibly encounters and things like that. But yeah, then you've got your route plotted out, and Hjorund will be very excited that you are actually planning on going to Browder still.
Yes. Yep, and we got the ice steel ore. We could make something out of that for you guys.
Yeah. Well, if it's mostly going to be used for the mines, so I think we won't have to worry about collecting it for ourselves. Can leave it up to the miners.
Yeah, the ice steel ore they got along the way from the frozen waterfall, but where they're setting up the mine is to start collecting gravitite, which
Yeah,
is going to be much better than ice steel ore. But
yeah,
Hjorund has told you that there is well, there used to be, at least as far as he can remember, a giant forge in those mountains of Browder where they would be able to make some like ice things up where their whole shtick.
yeah,
So you may be
yeah,
able to
and
unlock an extra forge, which if you had a giant forge, like giant forges, dwarven forges, like those kinds of places are going to be much better to actually do something with the gravitite ore, even though you have got a dwarven forge there in Broudevik. It's like you're going to need some industrial
yeah,
equipment.
and yeah, and the recommendation that you can use the ice steel ore to make some pickaxes to better mine the gravitite much faster, like a diamond pickaxe collecting obsidian.
But yeah, then we will go from this point. Lady Kira would come back, and she would speak with the Jarl, and they would come to you guys as she would be thanking them for their hospitality, and Kira would come to ask what, yeah, if everything's all right. She says, I've just spoken with the Jarl, and he says that you are often out on expeditions exploring Mordia. We too are explorers of sorts, searching for some ancient artifacts. Perhaps we may join you on your expedition sometime. There are many things that we would like to find out there, and I'm sure you have come across many yourselves.
Suppose you can say that. We'll be heading west from here along the coast on an expedition quite soon. Understand that may conflict, but your friend here seems keen on joining us for that. If you'd like to as well, I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can accommodate. And he just looks to Gorm, just like asking, do we have enough space on the longship?
Yeah, I believe so. I'd probably get some. Probably our giant friend can work a bit less hard rowing. We have a few more capable crew members with us.
Well, in all transparency, I've also been offered a spot on the Jarl's longship. Apparently, his son is going on an expedition of his own, but they will be heading in the opposite direction, from what I hear. Trymere, what did you find on the map? Is there anything that might help us choose a longship to join?
Yes. The map mentioned that somewhere near Brada is some ruins that we are interested in exploring. So yeah. So very firstly, I'm gonna stick with the longship that's heading west.
Wonderful. I wonder, perhaps it would be best. How would you feel about splitting our forces here, and perhaps you can take one or two of our retinue and join these fine folk, and I will join the Jarl's son, and I don't know, perhaps we'll be able to cover more ground that way.
Yes, that sounds all right with me. These folks seem very capable, and we shouldn't experience too much issues.
And forgive me for asking, but you folk aren't into any sort of nefarious magical practices, are you? I wouldn't want to leave my brother with anyone too dangerous. She sort of looks at Carmilla a little bit suspiciously, eyeing up the goblet as well.
I'm not getting anything of that.
I can grow big. That's about all the magic I use.
I'm sure it'll be fine, sister. I'm sure it'll be fine, sister.
My eye can glow.
You can glow.
My eye. And he points at the eye that probably doesn't look like the other one.
Yeah, you can give me a religion or an arcana check, Trymere, with advantage, as I feel like both of them peer in to look at this.
Okay.
So what you see as he kind of uh, shows you this eye, you notice now that it seems like mechanical almost. It definitely seems like he has got some sort of magical um artificial eye, but there is something that reminds you so much of your own research, and it looks like ancient, like Titan technology. This looks like it was either crafted by like the ancient elves maybe, or the gods themselves, but that is the kind of technology that you've been searching for.
Yeah, Trimer's like, oh well, that is a very impressive thing you have. So I feel even more confident that I'll be all right.
You said you're going with Magnus?
Yes,
That's
yeah.
to Kira.
Yeah, she nods and she says, "Yes, well, I mean, if I'm honest, he reminds me a little of my brother. I think he may be able to use some of our help as well. And I have been meaning to go out exploring some of the south for some time. I wouldn't want to get trapped up in the mountains so soon."
Of course. Just that Magnus can be.
A handful, to say the least.
Yeah. Magnus and his boys. So. Help. Yes, he'll need some help, and some of that help might come best in the way of discipline. But of course, enjoy your expedition with him. Keep him in line, will you?
Give me a persuasion check. Just for my own benefit. She kind of
Oh.
raises an eye. She, yeah, she raises the brow and she says, "Okay, it's not at all worrying. Thank you. I think we can take care of ourselves, but perhaps then we should decide on who's going to be joining who." As she says, "I'm thinking I might send the boy home." And I'm going to open up the other map so we can see all the elves again, and you can choose who you want to join you.
Okay.
Lost the map. There we go.
Yeah. So. Okay. So how many?
So you get 2 each. Oh, actually,
Oh yeah, there's also Eldorin who's right here.
yeah, you'd still get 2 each. She's going to send Thaloran home. She, with that 11, she does not trust these people enough to bring him with.
Okay.
And so she has just said, "I think I'll send him home," and you would know that that leaves the other 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so definitely gotta bring. Oh wait, so basically, Trimer gets brings 2, and then Kira also brings another 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And if you want to, if you guys want to know anything about them, we can. You can ask me, and we can have a quick, like, little heist review of each NPC that you might want to bring with.
I would like to take the least racist.
So definitely do not pick. I think.
Oriel.
Oh yeah, it was Oriel. Yeah, Oriel is not keen on
Yeah.
Carmilla.
You know what?
I think Ariana and Finn. I don't know how to even pronounce the end of it.
Like there's also Eldorin, who's like the most ripped. Of,
Yeah, but I think she's already with Magnus and his boys.
I'll
Okay,
say, out of character, might be the most fun to have the least racist elf and the most racist elf.
Fun for whom?
Wait, so Finn and Oriel, is that what you mean?
I don't know them, so
I was
Yeah.
gonna say
Okay.
this is a snap judgment on like which of them is racist.
Well, it's metagame judgment, at least for me and Yormund.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, Trymere, you would know these people well. So
yeah.
as you're kind of going over who your options are, like I can explain as if Trymere was explaining who these people are, but
Also,
and also what? Sorry?
we can also just go and ask them who they would like to go with.
Yeah, but this is also more like in a sort of metagamey sense. Like
Yeah.
I can imagine the camera sort of panning to each of them as Trymere explains. Okay, these people each have their own skill sets, you know, and they may be better suited to your crew. So how would what would Gorm and everyone's like what would your party's interviewing process be? Like what are the kinds of things that they would be asking like that? Okay, we want someone that's not racist. So Trymere would immediately think, okay, Oriel's not your best bet.
Yeah.
that'd be amazing. We just go up to each one of them. Okay, so which one of you is the least racist? All right, we'll pick you. Now, which one of you is the most racist?
I feel like whatever test you have to do in order to find that out is probably the most racist thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just like, you have to. I don't know what the most human thing you could do is, but it's like you have to just go and be the most human you can be in front of them and see who reacts.
I think the only test Yormund would have is he would just ask them to hold his sword and shield and just see their stance and judge them purely based on that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know how well this will work for you because you would know Trymere as this discussion goes on, you would be able to point to Oriel, who you would be able to tell that she yearns to uncover ancient elven artifacts just like the lot of you and believes that they hold the key to unlocking the mysteries of their ancestors. She is very much obsessed with their ancestors and is an elven fanatic. What's the word?
Zealous.
Elven supremacist. But
Oh, okay.
she's as many elves are, but she is especially so in this group. But she is also a master swordsman. She is probably the most skilled with the blade. She carries a long sword, and you would know that out of the group, she is probably she believes in something that she calls form over force, and the the blade that she is carrying is probably the finest among them. She seems, yeah, more like I don't want to say a samurai, but like her skill level with the
Like
sword.
very disciplined. Like very disciplined.
Yeah, she is a master swordsman. Is
Yeah, got
so her stance with the blade would be the best, but she's definitely the most racist among
it.
Yeah, Yormund, after like doing his little test, comes back to the group and goes, "That one, she's good with a sword."
Well, we can also
Obviously.
use a healer. So not necessarily someone good with a sword, but magic, healing magic.
Well, that's not my expertise, so I'll let you figure that out.
Yeah, ask Trymere.
Yeah, yeah, like so who's like the most skilled in like healing and medicine, stuff like that?
Probably Kira. Probably you, actually.
Oh, all right, but
Yeah, you would probably be. You would know that Thaloran knows some magic. He's like, uh, yeah. The rest of them, you, they're more martial. None of them are really particularly good at healing. You
okay,
would
got it.
know that Ariana, though. You would know that she is trying to uncover the secrets of her own lineage, and uh, she is a moon shadow, which means she is of the bloodline of the elder of Bordavet. So she's essentially like a princess, and you would see she carries a great sword. She is also pretty skilled with the sword, not quite as much as the other one, but you would know that she has got like some very powerful elven magic flowing through her. You've never seen her cast a spell, but you know that if she's anything like her mother, there is a great potential for magic there.
Okay.
But yeah, you're probably the best bet for healing, honestly.
But unfortunately though, my most of my I don't have any healing. I'm just I'm a very martial spell, or rather no, just a strong spellcaster with utility.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any dedicated healers in this.
I know, that's why I asked. If one
Yeah.
of them is.
Yeah.
I
Potato,
have some
potato.
healing, and Mika has some healing. And Yorman can heal himself. One.
I mean, technically,
Yeah.
we can all heal ourselves. We have hit die.
Yeah.
You have to
Honestly,
rest,
yeah. I'll go with the like I'll say I'm gonna choose. Honestly, I'm just gonna choose just based on like just on the spot. Fenway and I think I can choose Daloran
You can't,
or
he's
did
leaving.
he's leaving. Okay.
Yeah,
And
she's sending him away. I mean, you could try and make a case to bring him with. He is kind of, I would say, he looks up to you. He thinks that like he's quite dedicated to learning magic and probably spends quite a lot of time trying to learn from you. But yeah, Kira has said she wants to send him away because she believes this expedition will be too dangerous for him.
okay, okay.
But yeah, you would see that the other two, Eldoran and Finway, both carry axes, and they are both built like barbarians.
yeah, yeah. I'll say Fenway and Ariana.
Yorman, by your judgment, I would also say that Eldoran looks like she's probably better with an axe than Finway, and likewise, Oriel seems like she's probably better with a sword than Ariana.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can live with that.
Yeah, yeah. Because in Trimer's perspective, he wants the more strong martial people with his sister.
If we are going to a somewhat diplomatical expedition as well. So I don't know if
Yes.
the main races will be helpful here.
Well,
Yeah.
the lands in between are dangerous, so
Just because they're not as capable doesn't mean they're not capable.
sure. Well, I said I could live with that.
Yeah, if you all want to give like judge their sort of capability, I'll say you can give me an insight. You can all give me an insight check to determine I'll just say to determine their CR, basically. Just
Yeah.
Oh
by
shit.
looking at.
Oh man, that was so close to net 20 for Gorp.
Can't win them all.
Is anyone else going to try?
No. Like Trimer's kind of set on his decision where he wants most of the martially gifted elves to go with his sister, while he takes like the mid tier ones.
Okay, yeah. So, Gorm, you can, I'll say with that 11, based on, yeah, I don't know if Trymere is actually saying that he knows that they are less capable, but they all seem pretty close just based on Trimere's recommendation. You would believe what he's saying in that if he's telling you that the ones he's picking are stronger, you'd believe him, and if he's telling you that the others are stronger, you'd believe him in that as well. So I
Yeah.
don't know what if Trimer is being honest about that.
For what Trimer's saying, he's saying like they yeah, these two will be enough. We don't yeah, that's all he's saying. Like they're enough for our expedition. And yeah, he's basically saying he wants the more martially gifted to be with his sister.
Yeah, fine by me. Yeah, so Finway and Ariana.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And we also have the giant Huron is coming with us, obviously, to the forge.
Yeah, I just don't think he will stay with us after we get to the forge.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
It's an assumption. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean he's the quest to get to the forge is from him. Like he wants to go home. He hasn't been there in 100 years, so that's.
Makes sense. He kind of died.
Yeah.
But he has said that if you will take him home, like if you don't take him home soon, he's probably going to walk back himself. He's probably going to abandon Radovic. But if you guys do give him a lift back, then he'll happily come back and fight for you. And if he has any sway in Browder, he'll try and that will be a great way of getting an alliance with him.
Yeah. Also, I mentioned this in my backstory, but Trimer's like interested in both giant and dragon culture, so he's gonna be very like intrigued to speak with Huron. Like he knows the language giant, so he's gonna be very intrigued to speak with Huron and see how he is, like where he's been, something like that. Because I can imagine, like we don't see much of giants often. Like same with, like not seeing a lot of elves in one place. Correct, DM?
Yeah, you would know that there are some giants in the mountains, but you would know that close to the mountains that are close to where you live are mostly inhabited by dwarves, and yeah, you wouldn't see many giants.
Yeah. So yeah, Trimer is very intrigued to talk with Huron.
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure you would meet him soon enough, as you guys have now. There will be a crew of elves heading away with Magnus, and Ariana and Fenway will be joining you guys. So, are you going to be spending some time here in Browdervik to prepare before you leave? I mean, I will remind you, Yeoman, that you are still heavily concussed, and Ingrid would be recommending that you stay for another 5
week.
days and rest.
Yeah. You can spend this time to gather supplies, like hunting and such. Depending how much time we actually want to spend here.
Um. Well, seems. Well, who has business they want to take care of in Bradovik?
Define business.
Something you want to sort out before we leave?
Maybe me, but it's not something that will be finished within the 5 days. So that can be delayed.
Well, what is it?
Probably go talk to my father about upgrading the ship if he has any ideas how to implement them. But there's probably something I have to talk to DM a bit out of the session.
No
Well,
worries.
you can. The one thing that will still remain on the old sheet is if you open the old sheet and go to downtime, all of your establishments are still there. And now with the mines, your mines have leveled up to level 2, but they are still sort of building those. But yeah, you can still upgrade your longship via this system to, and you'll go faster and be able to carry more units as you level that up. So there's those kinds of upgrades, and then there's like if you want to put a cannon on your ship, that's a different.
Well, I meant maybe like an icebreaker in the front, like a ram icebreaker thing. So if we have to go in the winter, we can actually break the ice and move.
Oh yeah, I mean you could get your father to start developing something like that while you're away.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Not necessarily just smacking down a weapon on it.
Yeah, so it probably wouldn't be ready for this trip, but
Yeah,
you'd
exactly.
definitely be able to get the process started so long.
That's what I was thinking. Unless someone has any other ideas for the ship.
I wonder. My Trimer has the gust canter. Can he just constantly use it to gain some extra momentum?
I mean,
It's a big ship.
it's not.
Another
Yeah,
big gun.
if
Okay.
there was no wind at all, you would definitely be able to like probably make a difference. But if you were
Okay.
in high winds, you'd just be it would
Okay.
just be a drop in the ocean. You know?
Okay. You just have to wait until I get the 5th tier spell control wins.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, which also I will point out to you, there are some quests for you specifically, Trymere, that while you are here in Broudevik, you would also be able to speak to Ingrid, and she would offer to help train you if you want to try and learn some other sort of sorceress magic. So you
Oh,
can
really?
spend
Oh,
your
okay.
time to train and learn some extra spells.
Okay. I wonder. So is Ingrid a human or no?
Yeah, she is.
A human?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Trimer doesn't mind. Yeah. You can do some downtime with that.
You telling me that Trimer is racist?
No.
It's-
No. Like I was actually genuinely curious because.
Yeah, they're human. Both of my parents
You,
are humans.
you found the most racist elf. So the I don't know if you can see the vehicle upgrades going.
Is it like the very
It's a
strong
whole
upgrades
folder
thing?
of vehicle upgrades.
Superior ship upgrades? That's what you mean? I saw something, it just didn't. I looked at the book, it was like redacted or like links I couldn't actually click.
Oh, sorry, the breaking up, everything's lagging up, but you should be able to see in items a folder called vehicle upgrades, and some of them, just not all of them are for a ship.
Okay. I don't.
Okay, yeah, I
Wait.
see it. It's the same one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Wait. Where is it? Is it in establishments or?
Items.
Oh, items. Oh
It's
no.
yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean items. I see the actions folder, camp actions folder, establishment, loot, martial feat, player item. Oh wait, player items.
No,
Or
keep going. There is a vehicle upgrades almost at the bottom. Below, you see spells?
yeah, I see spells.
One below it.
Warfare features.
Okay, then it's probably showing only for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't mind. Since it's your ship, it makes sense.
Yeah, we can hear you, DM. If you are talking.
Oh, sorry, guys, my internet seems to be having issues.
Well, now we can
Mm.
hear you.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I had only revealed it to Gorm. That was why no one else could see it, but I'll.
Yeah, some of them are from the Ghost of Saltmarsh. When I looked at them.
Yeah, I think these are official ones.
Yeah, most of them are definitely. But according to the book itself, it's 15k for one of them. 15k gold. So we have to figure out a way, like out of session, how we're going through it, unless that's the price, and then cannot afford it just yet.
Yeah, well, I'll give it some thought as well. But I mean, yeah, some things are going to be. Some of those things are pretty
Yeah,
insane,
that will make sense. They cost a lot.
and also some of these things you may be able to, like that's purchasing it also. So you may be able to craft it yourself for cheaper. But
Which is
also
also
remember
something we have to figure out how.
but that's also where currently you're at a journeyman level, so you can make uncommon things. And yeah, but the bigger way to upgrade your ship would be through the other the like uh settlement, what should we call it, the domain thing,
Like find
establishment.
something in other domains that I can use for my ship.
You can hold on, there is something that you can actually upgrade your ship with. Because yeah, you can upgrade, you can like build extra things onto your, like now that you've got that keep, you could potentially build onto that keep and like create extra training areas. There's certain things you can build jails in there. Like there's all kinds of if you look under establishments, can you see that?
Yeah, I remember it. I saw it.
And there's modifications that I think you can also add. But yeah, the main thing is your stronghold, the longship stronghold can be upgraded. That I can't remember exactly how much, but that's in strongholds and follow.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll look for it after the session or somewhere. Let's not
Yeah,
stop everything.
we can. Yeah, we'll go over it then. But yeah, for now then, are you spending a week doing that?
Yeah, I think we ought to take a week regardless of what we're
Yeah.
doing, just because I'm
Yeah,
concussed.
Yeah, Yorkman is healing.
Yeah, if my father is working on the upgrade, I'll spend the week cooking. Maybe it will make an impression on the elves coming with us that they won't starve.
Yep, and Trymere doing some sorcery training with Ingrid of some kind.
Okay. Sorry, I just found. Yeah, that is right. The 15,000.
Yeah, that's official. But some of those things are from the infernal machines. That's why I didn't find them. So I have to look in another place. But again,
Yeah,
it's throughout the week.
yeah. Okay, cool. Sorry.
No, all good.
Yeah. So then you are doing some training. Yorman's getting some rest. Let's see. Did I give a mechanic for the training? Oh, you just have to do that thing. Your training is kind of based on doing things less mechanically and more flavor wise in order to learn these. So
Okay.
so it's more of a describing how you are completing these things and what the magic looks like. Describe the little training montage that you go through here as you learn the spell, and Ingrid tries to help you along, but she's not much of a sorcerer herself. She's a druid and a healer, and she's got the components and things that
Yeah.
that you would need.
Okay. Crimea does know the aid spell, like of increasing the maximum hit points, like basically somewhat of the constitution of the of the of the creature, and I can imagine Ingrid teaching about the like basically the biology of certain creatures, and basically Trimer does have plans on using the aid spell, and uh, yeah, and I can assume he has like a better understanding of of the the biology certain creatures have. So you can, in
Okay,
a
hold
way,
on.
oh what? Go ahead.
That,
Sorry,
I
sorry.
mean,
You
that's
said
cool.
flavor wise, so
No,
I'm
you can.
sorry.
That's cool, but I think you've misunderstood that that's a spell you already know.
Oh,
You
okay.
can learn
Sorry.
completely new spells. If you go to the quest log and you go to available quests, you'll see that there are three quests there that can teach you some elemental magics. And a lot of these spells are not going to be on your normal spell list. There are, like, for some of you they'll be hidden in places. Some of you can earn like feats and abilities in training.
Okay.
But the sorcerer one, there are specific spells at different levels, and each of those things you'll be able to see. She will give you like a challenge. So like slice a target in two using a powerful wind-powered slash from range. So then you describe how you are learning to throw wind like that, and you could learn the
Okay.
hurricane slash spell. But it takes you that
Okay.
5 minutes.
Okay. Where's oh, is it in journal? Or
You go to journal and you go to quest log down at the bottom,
oh, okay, I see it, quest log.
and then you go to the available quests tab.
Oh, okay. Then
You
there's like
see,
the math. Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
master the power of air, frost, and lightning. If
Oh,
you
okay.
Those are the quests. So we can, if you want to accept those, you can go ahead and press play. I don't know, can you?
Okay. I'd say I'm gonna do the lightning one. So right now I clicked on it. So I see the objectives.
So you can do them all. It depends. Each of them is the different element, but each spell is its own. And then if you look, they'll be in progress. But yeah, you can just look through. All of the spells should be unlocked. If you want to see what they do, you can just click on them, and it should open. But then you can just decide which one you are trying to learn.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to go to the master the power of lightning because Trymir does have access to the spell lightning bolt, and he also has the cantrip shocking grass, so a bunch of lightning based spells he has.
Yeah, so this quest lets you learn new spells that will just be added to your. They are always prepared spells, but you have to give you have to explain in without mechanics. You have to explain how you are learning this.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, you can read through those for now. What are Carmilla and Gorm doing over the next 5 days?
Well, you'll be think trying to convince Mikhail, or at least having like Mikhail work on her sword, since seems like a good time to get a little upgrade on them.
Oh yeah, and he's got some nice new materials to work with. So yeah, we can say Mikhail spend some time helping you upgrade those swords.
Yeah, I was contemplating between learning a spell or cooking. I was wondering if I can combine the two and learn magic spit. The one that makes like I can cook like a ritual that there is a rotating spike that just continues rotating and cooks the meat.
Yeah,
Can like me
absolutely.
cooking be a part of me learning the spell?
Yeah.
I think I can
Okay,
use
so
Sadier's. Let's see. I think I have a spell I can like hold it in place, and then I just like use the spell to turn it, and then slowly I can just make it turn on its own.
what are you cooking there?
What am I cooking here? I guess fish. That's the most common thing. Think we got anything special?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, how you're cooking fish on the spit? Because I don't know, to learn to learn the spell, I feel like fish on the stick is maybe not enough.
It's like me using learning to use the force. That's how it sounds like.
Luke finds a career in a fucking kebab shop.
So you're going over to the river and like just lifting the fish out of the water, but they immediately start turning perfectly ready to cook. As I mean, you do it is a glowing, rotating spike that is visible.
Yeah, it's like I can when I learn this spell, I just like get a big spike and then put it in the middle of the longhouse because there's a lot of fire, and it just keeps spinning, so people can just walk there, grab a fish, and walk back to their seat, and it just continuously cooks.
Nice, yeah. And with that, over the week, there's a couple of days in the beginning where there's a few fish fall into the fire as people are trying to pick at them. But by the end of the week, you've pretty much got it down, and you've managed to learn a magic spit spell.
Yeah, I have my
That's
priorities.
it's a very misleading name. That when someone
Yeah.
says they're going to cast magic spit, you tend to run.
Spit at him. Yeah. Okay. Call it magic kebab if you want.
That's even worse. That sounds like you're going to get stabbed.
Yeah, true.
It's very rare that a wizard or someone announces the spell they're going to cast and then cooks you a meal.
Never heard of magic kick.
But a bit of a tangent, but I started watching that Delicious in Dungeon. I don't know what it's actually called in Japanese.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Delicious. I think
it's called the Dungeon Muse, or I think. But yeah.
Yeah, but the English one is Delicious in Dungeon on Netflix.
okay.
Gorm, you have to watch that. It's it will inspire you like cannot believe for this character.
Yeah. Now I can imagine if you slay a dragon, you're think of how can we cook that
there it
dragon?
is. Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah, check it out. It's actually brilliant. but
Uh,
they like the recipes and things in there. I feel like
Yeah,
it makes me think of
each
Gorm every time.
episode has a different name. It's like a different recipe.
Yeah,
First name
you've
is
got to watch it. Just
hot pot. Okay. Yeah.
once you see it, you'll understand why.
He's probably fighting those creatures. That's what I can assume. But yeah,
The premise is it's a bunch of like adventurers that have decided they can survive in the dungeon without going back to town by existing on the ecosystem that is within the dungeon, and it's like a D&D party. But the meals they cook, they like it'll make you want to actually eat some weird dungeon creatures. It looks so good. Like the animation is insane. But it makes me think of Gorm every time they like, yes, this is what he's
Yes.
doing on their adventures.
Yes. So true.
Carmilla, do you have a mechanic for your training? I can't remember.
might be a quest. One of the like blade something. Maybe it says something there.
Yeah, it's either in downtime or it's one of the quests. Might be both. Because I think it's about being the blade. Yes, master art of dual wielding. Okay, but that's not what you're doing. You're getting them upgraded. You went training. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, I'll have to remember what Mikhail can do, but he will be able to give you a boost for this expedition. He'll be able to sharpen your blade some, and maybe when you get back, he'll be able to make some actual gravitite stuff, but he'll have to do that himself, like while he's actually here.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't remember but yeah, I'll let you know what that boost is for now. I will say though, Carmilla, while you are over this week, you are going to notice that hunger. It reminds you a little bit of being in the swamp, but I need you to please make a con save for me to see how that hunger is affecting you.
Okay, decent.
Ooh, it is not.
Oh,
As
oh,
yeah, the blood that you have been given to drink has only been from CR2 creatures at most, meaning that is a fail, and you are going to go into a feral state during this week. As
oh crap.
one day while you are in the market, like you on your way to see what kind of upgrades Mikhail's been able to make on you are going to feel this, like as you enter the market, and usually you used to smelling all the like foods that are being cooked and things, but as you walk in here, all you can smell are the shopkeepers. Like you can just hear their pulse as you can. I will activate the frenzied condition. I mean the feral condition. I'm sure you can see what it does. Oh, actually, they kind of show up backwards. Can you see it in the top right of the screen?
I cannot. I can only if it's disabled.
Okay, let's just do it that way. Just disable it, and I'll figure out a way to fix that. But then you can just hover over there and see what.
Yeah,
feral
yeah.
gives you.
I already infrared already over it, like when I loaded in.
So yeah, you can now, as you're walking in the light, you feel it like burning, as there is something. You don't feel well, but you feel a bit mad. How is Camilla reacting to this feeling for the first time, like going fully feral?
Well, he's annoyed at the sun and happy that it soon will be less of a bother, as it's starting to get shorter and shorter, like the days. Also, like looking at like, is there something she could just snack on that wouldn't be missed?
You see Thornhild's one of the girls you've known around here. She assists in one of the shops, like I think in the woodcutters. I can't remember exactly, but you see she is here just going about her business in the market, and she's just standing next to this crate taking a break, and you can almost hear her pulse as you just see her completely oblivious to you, and it's like that hunger starts to take you over. And I see Yeoman and Shepherd are at the forge as well, but Shepherd might be a bit of a tough creature to train.
It's also a big creature, but so.
Yeah, Yeoman at this point would have been going to Sven to actually talk about something. I'm not sure if he would notice Carmilla.
Well, we can give Camilla a second to think about how she's reacting to this going feral. As what are you discussing over there?
Yeoman would have just pretty much shown up at the forge and just asked, so Mikkel made me this lovely sword, and he just thumbs the empty slot. I have nothing currently to add to it. No, what do you think? And he just kind of like offers the sword to him to have a look.
Well, the boy's been working on some things with that new ore. I think he's trying to upgrade your friend over there's sword. I don't know, maybe he said that there was something you could make where perhaps a gem where you could throw the sword and let it come back to your hand. Like, Mjolnir. But it is new. I've never worked with this material.
More about gems. Well, I know this is probably pretty unrealistic, but I remember well, I loved my greatsword while I used it, but a sword and shield has fit me better. But I wonder, is there such a gem that would enlarge this into a greatsword? I think maybe in my giant's form I could handle it as well as a shield.
So, a sword that changes size with you.
That's the idea.
And your magic doesn't do this already? Or you want it to get even bigger when you grow?
Even bigger, because I have to admit, even when I grow, the sword and shield does grow. I think they grow a little bit as well, but it's just not the same weight as a greatsword, you know?
Well, I've got to be honest, that seems more like an enchantment thing. Perhaps you'd better speak with Nilmir. I'll give it some thought, and see what I can find in terms of gems, but she is really the one for those kinds of enchantments. As I say, we could maybe come up with some sort of dancing sword, but
I just wanted to float the idea by you. We're hopefully going to be stopping in Browder, and apparently they have quite a forge over there, so maybe I'll be able to find what I'm looking for.
oh yes, giant made things. I imagine they may have such techniques. But try talk to Nilmir, see if she's got any rune stones or something. It sounds like the kind of thing that you might be able to slot into there. And if you need someone to fit it for you, please bring the sword and I will happily do.
Of course. Thanks. And I'll see you around.
And tell your friend that her swords are not quite ready. Mikkel is still working on them.
Should be devastated. Will do. And speak of the devil, I presume he was talking about Carmilla.
Yeah, you could both see her from there, but as the woman starts turning around to head back into the market, what do they see,
He would see like Helena just sitting like the nails just like digging into like the what's called her hands and just like shaking because he don't really want to like snack on people. That can be problematic, at least not like at home, but it's just that hunger. That hunger. It's like weighing it like, is it worth it? Or is it not?
Oi! The woman just kind of calls out. Sorry to say, but your swords might be on a little delay. I'm not sure if you'll be able to get them before we leave. Are you alright?
Hungry.
Get some food.
You both know that Gorm's been cooking fish and having it on this, practicing his magic spit the whole week, so it's been a pretty fish-heavy diet the last week.
Well, do you want to go hunting for some deer?
Good idea. Have to find deer. Quick.
Alright, Shepherd. I've lost my ability to whistle.
At that point, you realize one of your teeth was knocked out. Oh no.
Ah, fuck.
Is it easier now?
There it is. No, it's gone.
I'm gonna capture my whistling. Oh.
Yeah, I heard it for a sec.
Okay. Because I don't know if Discord is just cutting stuff out because of how loud it is.
Yeah, no, Discord's not a fan of the whistling. You guys can both roll on the hunt game table if you are rushing out of town to go and try and hunt down a deer.
Yeah, maybe. I wonder, is it possible that they might come across a mammoth? just bring it up there.
A mammoth? You'd have to go pretty far to find a mammoth, but
Okay. Yeah, I'm just just throwing it out there.
I
Someone's
mean,
joking.
the Nord tribe, the Goliaths that are with you are mammoth hunters. You might be able to find some mammoth cheese in their camp, but live mammoths, you'd have to go quite far east over the mountain. Ooh, okay, Yeoman, you can roll that d4. There's I feel like so Yeoman's going to be hunting. He manages to get 4 animals. I'll leave it up to you what kind of animals those are. But Carmilla, with that 15, you get 1 because I imagine you're catching that live and eating it live. Am I like, what does it look like when Carmilla does spot an animal? Is it a deer, and how does she take it down?
I have to imagine it being an elk, and she just runs over to it, just jumps up, and just like with both her like hands, just stabs into the neck, and like almost tears off the neck, and just starts like drinking the blood. And when she's done, she's just starting like scooping out the meat and just eating.
So while Carmilla's like doing that, Yormund and Shepherd, how do you guys hunt down the 4 animals before you find Carmilla devouring that one on her?
Am I muted? I was muted. A couple of rabbit that Shepard manages to catch himself, just chasing through the brush, and 2 deer that we in tandem sort of come to each side of. Shepard takes one and Yorman manages to slash and track the other as it bleeds. Eventually, 2 bunnies and 2 deer.
How does Yormund? I mean, you guys would, as you catch these, and you are sort of heading back towards town, you would come across Carmilla and her kill as she's just eating this elk and drinking its blood dry. But yeah, I mean, how are you guys also transporting those 2 deer back? Are you like in giant form, swinging them over your shoulders, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Nothing else to use it on all day. Might as well get some practice in. Lifting weights.
Yeah, I mean, Shepherd's probably almost big enough to just act like a horse.
Yeah.
Okay, you come across that freaking yellow jacket scene of Carmilla just tearing this creature apart.
Yep. Nom 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 nom.
Yeah, Yorman just kind of stands by for a second and just goes, "You done?"
Almost.
Well, I'm gonna take these back to town. I'll see you there. Daylight's running, so don't be too long.
Yeah, you would see the sun's beginning to set, and Carmilla, you would feel that energy and sort of returning to you as you feel the sun fading and this blood. It's still not quite hitting the spot, but it's better than nothing, and you will happily drain this entire elk and still be a little hungry, but probably be able to stave off the frenzy for a while.
Makes me think of Baldur's Gate 3 Astarion. Like Karma's gonna have a night event where he's gonna sneak on someone during the night, infect him.
And that's how your second character died.
Oh gosh.
So yes, you guys eventually make your way back into town on the on the 9th of the 10th, on that last day. Yeoman brings in some deer, as I don't think the other deer makes it back to town, but Yeoman brings some new things that Gorm is able to put on the spit, as you've perfected that spell by this point.
Yeah, it's mainly me just like cutting and throwing some spices, then plugging it on the spit.
Jarl Nicholas will approach the two of you as you're standing by the spit and just say, "So, are you sticking around much longer? You're looking better, Yeoman, able to hunt again?"
Yeah, I like one getting away, but I'm hoping that's just a fluke rather than whatever's going on up here, and he just taps his helmet with his sword. But yeah, Ingrid said 10 days. It's been nearly as long. So I think next week we're going to start heading off.
Well, wish you luck. Hope those elves don't give you too much trouble. I think I saw one of them training with Ingrid. Will be good to have some magic on your side again. No offense, Gorm. I know you've both got a little something, but since Ursula, I think you have been lacking.
Yeah, that's true. No offense taken.
Um, oh yeah, everyone. Well, unless you're blind, you'll notice Yeoman flinch at Ursula.
Maybe we should rest for another week.
And do what? I've been fucking bored.
Get a stronger helmet then.
I'm not gonna make it out of thin air. I'll be more likely to get one going somewhere. Speaking of, how's the ship? No holes in it yet?
Well, it should be repaired by now, but nothing new. Talk to my father, ask him to maybe work on the ram or something, so we can move during the winter if we need to. Cut through the ice. Still avoid areas with some very thick ice, but I think rivers will be good enough for us to cross. Probably should avoid the north.
Can't disagree. Oh. I don't know, how do you think this... Well, what does the Jarl think? How do you think the other towns are gonna take this? The idea of an alliance?
Honestly, I think you might have a tough time with Skakutok. That Bear King, maybe. I think he seems willing to reason, but that only makes me trust him less, if I'm honest. Skakutoker, however, they may be persuaded if we can open a trade route. They've been wanting to trade across borders for a long time, but the king forbids it, unfortunately. So maybe we can try to work something out. And if that is the case, I can try and make a case with the king and get him to allow us to trade over the border. I mean, if we can set up there, it would be great.
Hmm. Well, I think maybe if we make a good impression with these northerners, that could help us. Maybe.
Well, the elves are actually from there themselves, so perhaps they would be able to help you sway them.
Be good. I guess we'll see in time.
Yes, I'm more worried about my son, to be honest. Did you see that woman getting onto their ship? I think the twins are going to kill each other.
Um, you know what? I'm sure they'll be fine. It's fine.
I don't. I've seen them nearly kill each other over a cup of mead. A woman like that can be a dangerous thing on a long journey.
Or set them straight.
I was thinking that.
Let us hope so. Some elvish wisdom, please.
Truth be told, I don't think either Beavis or Butthead is going to charm her.
Oh no, I don't expect either of them are going to succeed. I just think they may kill each other in trying.
I'm sure Magnus, or at least the elves, would give them that foresight.
Well, you give my son more credit than I. But I wish you all luck. May the gods be with you. We will be awaiting your arrival and all the gold you will bring with you. Eh?
Absolutely. Well, shall we start making preparations?
Yeah, I'll go make sure the ship itself is prepared. Should gather everyone, take the supplies, whatever we can, and board.
Alright, Captain.
Here we will start to wrap up the session with a bit of a montage of both Trimir's training session and you guys preparing the ship. Camilla coming to terms with her newfound hunger, but anyone can sort of jump in and add to the scene if they want, but we will be wrapping up the session here and we'll start with Trimir and the spell he is trying to learn.
So I'm doing the master the power plating. So I'm doing like the objectives in order, and I'm basically unlocking those spell set as I describe how I do it.
You don't have to do it in order, but yeah, you have to describe the actual like flavor text of how you're doing it, regardless of mechanics. But you just pick the spell that you want to learn, and then that's the one that you're training.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought
So
I
each-
thought I do it. I thought I do it in order. But
No,
yeah,
they're in order of level. So the higher ones are cantrips, the bottom ones are, I think it goes up to like 4th, 5th level, 6th, some of them. But you can obviously only learn spells that you are able to cast. So
okay.
but yeah, there's an objective there. You can describe to me the flavor of how, like, what the training session looks like as you're completing one of those objectives.
Okay. I'm interested in the 4th level spell Jumping Jolt. So I can learn to ricochet lightning bolts. So I can imagine Ingrid has some basically some lightning rods, like basically some kind of like rods of metal to attract one another, and basically I'm using my lightning bolt spell to basically kind of learn to control and arc the lightning amongst the lightning rods that she has placed. And and I can imagine, since with the Trymere sorcery points, he can basically convert his magical reserves to create more like third level spell slots, so he can continuously cast lightning bolt.
Okay, yeah, there you're getting into the mechanics. I love that idea, but and what does it look like? Like, what does it look like when he fails at it the first couple of times, as he's trying to arc this lightning bolt between these?
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, a few times he put too much energy into it, and it actually kind of like chars and breaks one of the lightning rods. Uh, where he needs to learn some control over his lightning, and to give it more imagery. His lightning is blue, kind of like a blue electricity that you can see within some. If you've been into seeing some like engineering projects like blue electricity or some science projects, that kind of blue electricity, but for Trymere it's a blue lightning, uh, and other failures would be I can imagine uh, he might have like arced the wrong way and it just hits either the ground or a tree and it lights on fire. It's like and Trimer's like, oh, we gotta put that out. As he casts, he has a cold spell, so he can use that to freeze the fire. So
Yeah, that's when Ingrid would be stepping in with also some like druidic magic, summon some rain clouds just to put out the fires that you're causing. But
yeah.
yeah, so then what does it look like when he finally gets it perfect?
Oh, I can see that it basically it's able to. I can imagine Ingrid puts down a total of 4 lightning rods, and I have to basically to finally master it. I have to hit all 4 lightning rods at once, connecting it without hitting anything else. So I can imagine it almost forms the. Oh, it's almost like the lightning rods are the shape of basically like a drawing of a lightning bolt, and I can imagine as he finally connects, it creates that shape of a lightning bolt with all the 4 rods connecting. Since Jumping Jolt is a 4th level spell, so I find the use of using 4 rods is fitting to like be able to cast and master it.
Yeah, that is perfect. So what was the spell called again?
A Jumping Jolt.
Jumping
Uh,
bolt.
Yep. So the description says I release an arc of lightning at a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against a target, and on a hit, target takes 4d12 lightning damage. But I can cause the spell to jump to another target within 20 feet of the first target, making a new spell attack roll for each target. The spell cannot hit the same target twice or jump to a target out of the spell's range. The spell can reach a maximum up to 5 times. So I can basically target up to 5 creatures if I'm able to hit with Jumping Jolt.
Oh shit! I think I gave you the wrong one.
Oh no. What do you mean by wrong one?
Wrong spell.
I think I just dragged the wrong one over.
Oh no.
Oh no, it can go over. Never mind.
Oh wait, it's correct, or
Yeah, I'm just adding it now. It should show up in a.
oh okay, gotcha.
There we go. You have learned Jumping Jolt that is always prepared. So it doesn't. It still costs a spell slot, but it does not count towards your prepared spells.
Right, awesome.
And same thing with Magic Spit. That is, although that
Oh
might be a
man,
ritual anyway.
yeah. Imagine I roll a. It'll be quite big damage if I roll a crit with Jumping Jolt.
Yeah, look forward to seeing it. As Trymere has been learning this, is there anything else in particular that we'd see from the others before we end the session?
Not something specific from Gorm. It's just like making sure the ship is properly ready for the voyage. Like no holes, the sails will not turn anywhere.
Maybe just Yormund, a shot of Yormund pondering across a lake. Well, I guess it would be more like a pond.
Yeah, I can see it just silhouetted as Shepard runs up next to you.
Yeah, just give him a scratch by the ear.
And then ending the session, where do we see Kamala?
I think at the forge, just checking in like how the progress is.
Yeah, and there we would see Mikkel handing you your blades, and just the glint of these perfectly sharpened and now enchanted blades, and we will find out what they can do next time. But that is where we will wrap things up for tonight.
Hell,
All right.
sick.
Thank you guys for the session.
Thanks for running.
Yep.
Glad to be finally back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yep, and when you're back, you have 2 characters inside, but 1 character is back. And I must say the reason why Onyx died because